Yo, what's going on YouTube, and welcome back to another Mecha Break video. Today in this video, we're going to be talking about Stellaris, the light striker assassin. We're going to be going over his base kit, some tips and tricks, and then go over his matchups. So without further ado, let's get into this video.
Stellaris, ready to strike.
If this Stellaris is not cracked, you're down, mech. I swear to God.
Ready to strike.
It became personal with me.
I like the girls with their nails done. Girls with their nails done. Girls with their nails done. Nails done. Girls with their nails done. Nails done. Girls with their nails done.
Enemy team wiped.
All right, now I want to first go over how to acquire Stellaris, because there's going to be people who are going to ask, how do I get him? Now, if you want to get him, you can go to logistics, go to matrix selections. Now, you can try him out just like Serena. If you have a 7-day trial, you can try them out for 7 days. See if you enjoy it, and then see if you want to waste your mission tokens. Now, mission tokens you get from doing Alpha C missions. You can do the weekly missions, specifically daily missions, and then you just level up your rank as well. You should be able to get these as well. Now, how fast overall is going to take for you all depends on your playstyle specifically and how much you actually play. For me specifically, I only did a few missions. As you see here, I only did a couple missions, so I didn't really focus on this. With the daily logins, ranking up, and things of that sort, it took me about 6 hours, give or take, to get about 15,000 mission tokens. But if you do Mash Mock, if you do all these other missions with all the other strikers options here, you actually get quite a few tokens here. So if you select these missions here, you do these. You can refresh them if you wanted to. You do these, it'll make it a lot faster for you to actually get the 15,000 you need to purchase him, if you decide to purchase him. But I would say first do the 7-day trial, see if you like this character at all. And if you don't, you can just save yourself 15,000 mission tokens. All right, so now let's go into the training room, which I advise anyone who is trying to learn a striker, go into the training room. So go to the tactical station. You're going to go to training. And then whatever striker you have already defaulted here, which is going to pop up for you guys. So if you want to switch it out to another striker, you can go ahead and do it. When you're done, you're going to go ahead and hit strike, which is right, it was behind me, but there was a button right here to go into the actual training room. So here specifically, I advise everyone who came by my stream always ask me, oh, you know, I don't know how I think about this striker. I'm not sure who I like. What do you advise? Who do you think is best? I would say try them all out. See who you like. Pick 2 or 3 strikers you like. Because there's times where you're not going to be able to pick the striker you want sometimes. So pick a couple strikers you like, and then get to know their kits and understand what their matchups are. And then you have a better time when playing this game. So now, what I want to go over briefly is we're going to first go over the actual main weapon, and then we're going to go over his abilities. When we talk about the main weapons, we're going to be talking about combos as well, and things of that sort, and also how to parry. So going right into it. The first thing is you have your left click and right click, 2 different swords. Now, physically, you only see the left sword on. The right sword is on his left shoulder. Now, the left click is what's really going to start the combos, the melee combo specifically. So if you just hold your left click, you would do dash and then do 3 slashes. Now, as you see here, I did have to show this to you guys. And actually, that's a good point. Let me show you guys this. A lot of people don't know this. When it comes to melee strikers, Welkin, Panther, Stellaris, Alesis, you have a weapon dash, which a lot of other strikers don't have. For Welkin, this is like bread and butter when you're trying to get around the map. If you just tap your melee, you would actually just weapon dash. So I'm going to tap my left click once. As you see here, I'm weapon dashing. And it uses up a lot of energy, but you can get from one point to the other pretty
Energy
fast.
low.
Okay? Now, if you get out of a weapon dash, just tap your weapon. So if I'm in a weapon dash, just tap it. Boom, I stop. So if you're wondering, how do I stop this? Like, I'm hitting a wall, just tap your weapon. You'll be perfectly fine. So now, if you hold your melee, you're going to do a weapon dash. You're going to do 3 slashes. So again, this is it. 1, 2, 3. And then that third one does a 2-piece. So that is one way that's one combo for him specifically. All right. Now going over his right click. Now, if you tap his right click, you have a range slash. Okay. As you see here, the range slash, depending on where you're looking, wherever your reticle is at, is where you're going to be slashing. Now, if you tap it 3 times, you do 3 slashes, and the last slash is a double slash. You see here, 1, 2, 3. Okay, perfect. Now, just to show you guys the range specifically on this, we're going to put up a Falcon, poor Falcon. All right, so you can attack them when you have the big triangle, and it's going to be a good tracking on there. With the little triangle, as you see, there's no more of a big triangle. It's a small triangle now. You can still hit them. Now, even if you don't have the triangle or nothing's there, as I try to find, there it is. As you see here, right click, I still hit them. So you can still hit them. Now, there is a range cap. Now, if I keep going all the way, right here, I hit them. No. As you see here, I am not hitting them. Okay? So just keep that in mind. There is a range cap. As long as you're really far away, should be fine. You can kind of see them. But if you're too far, you're not going to be able to hit them. Now, this is really good because both his melee weapons and any other melee striker, you're going to go right to their HP. You ignore shields altogether. So as you saw here, Falcon is like pretty much almost at 1 HP just from doing some slashes. So this is really good for range if you're going against Tricera, Stego, anyone. You just want to pick at someone, you just hit them with the right slashes. All right. Now, we're going to go over the right click. If you hold right click, that enters your parry mode specifically. Now, right here, my right click, which is my second one, which is a little bit, actually, there's a top one. If you look at the very top one, I'll zoom in a little bit. You'll see as I hold, there's actually like a little bar that goes away. It's about 2 or 3 seconds that it holds. That's how long your parry window is specifically. Now, when it comes to a parry window, the time you have in that parry time frame, you also have to be looking at them specifically to parry them. So you can't just hit them from the side if they're attacking you from the side. You actually have to be looking at them. So when you're actually doing Stellaris challenges, one of the things you're going to do is how to actually parry, but you're also going to be fighting a Panther. Now, when you fight a Panther, again, you're going to be wanting to wait until they're actually charging you to really parry them, but you also want to be looking at them to actually successfully parry. So let's make this Panther aggressive, where I want them to attack me. You're going to see, that you can parry them as long as you're looking at them. So they're going to be charging me a little bit. Charge, parry. No, he got me. I wasn't looking at him. As long as you are keeping your eye on the Panther, you'll be totally fine. As you see here, I'm successfully doing it. Totally fine. Now, I almost lost it for a second. As you see, I'm just parrying him. If he was to jump, I had to look up to also be able to counter that. This whole entire time, I've been parrying him. Now, I'm going to let him kill me. When it comes to parry, you have about 2-3 seconds. You have to look at them. If they're above you and they strike down, that won't count. You have to physically be looking at them. So you kind of want that triangle, the big triangle that you see here, you want that triangle to be in your reticle for you to actually counter them successfully. So just keep that in mind. When it comes to any other one else, you should be totally fine. Not just Panther, Anisis, or Stellaris. But when it comes to Welkin, I find it a little bit more challenging to parry Welkin. I don't know why. It just seems a little bit sluggish, and maybe it's a skill issue for me. But you can parry them. It's going to be very important to parry them when you're doing the challenge, because when fighting Panther and Welkin at the exact same time for your final challenge, it's going to be kind of a tough challenge. You have to learn how to parry successfully. So that is parrying. Now let's go over the combo specifically. So now with the combos, you can do the first one we're going to go over actually is the one left click, one right click. So you're going to see one left, one right. Now that I just did, that jump dash straight down, that is unparryable. Meaning if anyone had a shield, it doesn't matter. They're not going to be able to block that one when it jumps from the sky down. But the first attack, they can actually parry that. So you have to be careful when it comes to that. Now what you can do specifically is you can also jump in the sky and do that parry, 1, 2, and then keep doing that back and forth to stun them, and you just keep that rotation over and over and over again until either they escape or they do something or they die. So both those ways, one left click, one right click, is unparryable. The second click, the first one is, or you could do the jump strike down. Now anyone could do the jump strike down. That is not unique specifically to Stellaris, but obviously the left click, right click is unique specifically to Stellaris. Now the second combo, in my personal opinion, is the fastest way to melt a striker. But there's a caveat when it comes to it. So let's bring out someone a little bit more beefier. So we're going to bring out Stego. Now the combo is going to be 2 left clicks and 1 right click. So when it comes to this, you're going to see 1, 2, bump into 3. 1, 2, ta 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 ta. As you see, it probably took me about 4 or 5 slashes just like that to melt a Stego. Now, the reason why I say is as a caveat, it's the fastest way, because it is if you pin them down, but there is a range on how far that slash can actually hit. So let's see if we can get somewhere else. So as you see, even though I'm kind of nearby, so I can get a better angle out of him. As you saw, only the last slash there actually hit him. So there is a range when it comes to it. So if someone's escaping you, they're dashing away, you're not going to be able to do this and actually melt them down. There's going to be times where you could do that. I tend to do this a lot when I know a target is not going to move. Perfect. Or I pin them down in a corner. This is perfect. But a lot of times you're going to do the next move, which is the AoE move. Now, the AoE you kind of saw when you successfully parry, you can actually do an AoE move. That damage actually hurts them. When you do the successful parry, you can, instead of doing that parry and do that AoE move, the AoE move specifically is hold your right click and you do that AoE move as a counter. Okay? But if you successfully parry, you can let go of right click and do your normal attacks and be totally fine. It's up to you guys. But when it comes to this, to do that AoE move is 3 left clicks, 1 right click. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3, and then AoE. Now, as you see here, that's a pretty interesting AoE. 1, 2, 3. It hits all around, okay? Now, if I was to do this, 1, 2, 3. As you see, he was on my backside, and I was still able to hit him. So there is a good range when it comes to this. Not saying I do this often, but if you go to the objective, let's say you're going to go after someone who's really low level and there's other mechs that are nearby, you can do this to also do damage to other mechs that are also near that objective as well. Help do some team damage. Now, I tend to use this when I know I'm chasing someone and they are trying to escape. The AoE, as they try to escape, they will hit that AoE ring and they take damage that way too. So depending on who you're chasing, depends on what combos you're going to do specifically. If they're not going to go anywhere, they're stuck, you do the 2 tap left click, 1 right click to do the rapid attack. Or you can do the AoE. The AoE seems to be the one I normally do the most because it's hitting either more targets, more wide range, and if someone, a striker, is trying to escape, they're also still going to take damage no matter what. Now, you had your right click slash, 3 slashes. You had your left click, if you hold it, 3 slashes. You have the jump combo, which again is left click, right click. You have the rapid attack, which is 2 left clicks, 1 right click. Then you have your AoE, which is 3 right clicks and a right slash. So that's 5 separate combos that you can do with your swords. Now let's go into the main abilities. Now, going after the main abilities, ability number 1, you have 2 of these, okay? So keep that in mind. Now, there is a 2-fold ability when it comes to this. Now, if you just tap your one ability, it becomes a grapple hook, which is also stuns. Okay, so you kind of grapple onto them and you stun them. So if I just tap it one time, I stun them. The UID, the HUD is all messed up, and they're all like disoriented. But they can still do their attacks. They can still do their moves. But just to stun them for a quick second. Okay. Now, the other way to use this is if you hold your one ability, you actually do a grapple towards them and javelin, almost like Panther. As you see, the damage on there, pretty decent, not that bad. Okay, now very important, 2 things. 1, this is a range. As long as you have that big triangle, you're good. If you go outside that big triangle, you will not be able to hit it. As you see here specifically, my one ability, I am spamming it right now. I can't use it. I have to have that big triangle. Now, the second thing to keep in mind, if you're going after a Falcon or Sky Raider, if they are timing their movements just right, you would actually break the grapple and they can't grapple onto you. But you can actually force your Stellaris enemy to actually waste their grapple. So if they're able to see them, see the red target, the red triangle, try to grapple, and they do that movement ability, you can actually lose the grapple of that enemy targeting you. And on top of that, they lose their one ability where they have a cooldown on there. So keep that in mind. There's a couple ways that you can use it, but there's also ways to counter it as well. Now, what's really good about the grapple hook is I tend to use this also for Stegos or anyone trying to do any objective. So like if someone's on a point like a payload, I can use this like a javelin like Panther and push them off the payload. I tend to bully a lot of strikers like Stego who tend to be high on a mountain, perched up on a mountain or a building, trying to rain terror on everyone with their missiles. You can kind of like push them off. They either have to find a new location or waste their energy to go back up. And I'm kind of like taking away a really big target that can be doing a lot of damage to my whole team. So that's also some things you want to keep in mind, that you can use this grapple to your advantage, not just to do some damage, but also to bully people. Now, you can follow up the grapple with many other things. You know, could do dashes and attacks afterwards, whatever you want to do. But that's pretty much it when it comes to the grapple. Now, let's go over ability number 2, which is your active camo. Now, your active camo has a 16-second cooldown if you use all of it and you deplenish all of it. But if you're quick with it, if you happen to toggle it on and toggle back off, you can actually make your cooldown a lot faster. So if I just use my one time and press it again, now I have a 1-second cooldown. If I keep it on for longer,
Optical camo
now I have a 3-second
deactivated.
cooldown. So that all plays a factor in how fast you're using it. If you decide to use all of it, you have 16 seconds altogether to use it. Now, when it comes to the active camo, you can still do attacks, but you lose your camo for a second and it comes back right away. So if I was to, let's just say, do my camo and do my right click, boom. As you saw how fast that camo does come back is really good. As you see, I'm done with my camo, 7 seconds. Keep in mind a couple things. Serenif is one, and the other is Falcon. Specifically Falcon. When they use their recon, where they're able to show people nearby and enhance your teammates' radar, they can show where you are, and you will still be using your camo, but they can see exactly where you are currently are. So you have to be very careful. If there's a Falcon using the recon, they know where you are. I've had so many times where I've had some fights. I'm like, how do they know where I'm at? Yes, when you are under that recon, what happens is your body, you're able to see your striker, but you start seeing some parts of your body have camo. That shows you that your camo is disrupted. That will be your indicator to know, hey, there's a Falcon who's using their recon. Let me, 1, not use it, and 2, maybe chase after the Falcon. Because Falcon is one of the ones you're going to be going after that you can take care of pretty easily. But a lot of times when it comes to the camo, it depends on your playstyle specifically. You can be one that likes to dive in, do some attacks, and then camo out and get out of that situation. You can be one that just attacks everything, and then when they're in a bad situation, they use a camo to get it out of a situation. You can always keep your camo up if you wanted to until that 60 seconds cooldown's up, and you can have it up all the time, but then you're wasting it. But it's all how you want to specifically play it. I have people, you know, like I said, you can keep your camo up, attack, camo's up, attack, camo's up. Maybe you want to escape now, disengage, like whatever you want to use your camo for. You can also use your camo to do the objective, which a lot of times a lot of people don't realize that you can do the objective. You can go on a point, whatever you need to do, collect the objective, and then you're set and you're good to go. So if you notice, and this happened to me when we were playing ranked, if you notice that no one's doing the objective, maybe go invisible and just do the objective, you know? So there's a couple ways you can actually use your camo to your advantage, and you can also use it for utility uses for helping doing the objective. All right, the next ability I want to go over is the third ability. Now, the third ability is interesting. It's called Sword Drone. So let me pull it back up so we can actually see it together.
Optical camo activated.
Sword Drone. Now, a Sword Drone deploys a tracking drone on enemies, does physical damage, bypasses fluid armor, force fields, and shields, and locks on target is required. So what that means is I don't see, I have a small triangle, I can't use my third ability. I need that big giant triangle for me to actually use my third ability. Now, this is very little damage, but again, it goes right through shields and it does a good amount of damage. I use this when I'm fighting. You can actually use this specifically if you're ranged, and just use this. Maybe you want to use this, your right clicks, and then you want to use your 3, because you are not locked onto using that animation. You can do something else and tap your 3 ability. You can do this while you're grappling too. If I was to grapple, boom, you can have that way. You can also do this while you're doing your combos as well. So if I'm doing my combos, you saw there,
Optical camo deactivated.
I was able to do it. We'll do it one more time real quick so we can show it. But you can use your third ability however you want while you're doing something else. So you want to, while you're doing your combos, you're doing stuff, you might want to pepper this in a little bit. So as you see here, that was able to be used. So you can use it however you want. I tend to use it to try to melt as much as I can of that target that I'm chasing or I'm fighting. Or if you're fighting from range, like you saw, if you're fighting from range, you can go ahead and use your range attack and also use your third ability to help bring down their HP as well. But again, you can pepper this in while you're doing all your sorts of combo, which is really nice. The fact that it only does a little bit HP is okay, because the fact that you can actually pepper this in if you're doing your other combos. But that's just something to keep in mind. All right, now let's go over some of the matchups. So when it comes to some matchups where you have with Falcon, you're going to go after the small target. You're going to go after the Falcons. You're going to go after the snipers. You're going to go after the healers. Illuminate might be tough because Illuminate flies really far and really fast with that energy boost. You're going to go after those targets. They're the easier targets to get versus a Stego and a Tricera or a Panther. You're going to be mostly focusing on those targets. Yes, now you do have a role for that. Not saying you can't focus on someone else. Sure, you can focus on a Hurricane, or you can focus on someone else if you wanted to, especially if their health is really low. That's your main focus. You're going to go after the people who have low HP. You're going to also be going after those other strikers that are specialized, like Falcon, Sky Raider, Aquilas, Norakamis, Luminate Panakas. You're going to be going after those. And every now and then you're going to be going after the other ones if their HP is lower. So you kind of want to know your matchups a little bit. I would recommend you coming to the training room, trying to see how you can match up against them. Like I said, parrying might be important for a lot of people who are doing Stellaris, especially if you're going against another Panther, if you're going against another Nice or Stellaris. You're going to want to make sure you know how to parry, because it's going to be very important. Welkin, again, it might be just a skill issue for me, but you can parry Welkin as well. It just, for me, is not as consistent. But that is a matchup you don't always want to be one-on-one on. But if you happen to be one-on-one, you're able to kind of defend yourself and kind of get out of a sticky situation. A couple tips and tricks about using Stellaris. Now, we already talked about how you can not animation cancel. You can tap in your third ability while you are actually using your combos and stuff like that, which is really nice. But the only thing I also want to make sure I bring up to you guys is when you're using your camo. If you're using your camo, if your teammates gives you a shield or gives you a healing drone, that will indicate to your enemy that there's someone there, and they're going to be able to spot you because they're going to see an invisible shield coming to them. They're going to see someone invisible in a bubble of a shield coming to them. So just keep in mind, if you happen to have your camo up and someone heals you or supports you in some sort of way that can give away your location, you might not want to be in that location, and two, waste your camo because you're already giving yourself away. So just keep that in mind when you are playing with Stellaris when it comes to his camo, that if you're behind enemy lines and the teammates decides to heal you, you will be giving away your location. A lot of times it might feel like you're focusing, you might be blindsided just on trying to fight a target. If you are doing these ejective styles where either kill or you're trying to do the ejective, you're fighting someone, you're really trying to do is just chip at their health. Sure, if you have a perfect matchup and you have the advantage, go ahead and try to go for it. But a lot of times you're going to be trying to do a little bit of damage, get out of a situation. Get in, get out. Get in, get out. What you're going to try to do is, again, you're trying to slowly bully people. You're going to be trying to get their health really low. You're going to be looking at those HP targets that are really low to go after. And then you're going to be trying to pull targets away. Again, get those Falcons out the way. Get those Norikamis and their Aquillas. You want to focus on those targets. So when it comes to like an overall matchups, you just want to keep in mind that, again, don't be blindsided. Oh, I just want to attack this guy. You focus and you use all your energy. Now you have no energy. And guess what? Behind you is like their whole team is looking at you because now you have no energy. Camo's, sure, you use some of your camo, but it's still on cooldown. Like, you want to make sure you are really diving in and diving out. Now, you could play recklessly. It's up to you, but I'm just letting you guys know, again, it's mostly like a dive comp. You're going to go in and get out when it comes to Stellaris. Some things about like a light striker. Now, you do have a lot less HP, but you do have a way to have faster recharge on your energy versus another striker. So even though you are using a lot of your energy when it comes to like a Falcon and a Stellaris who uses a lot of their energies for a lot of the things that they do, you actually have a faster recharge rate than versus a heavier striker. So keep in mind that when you're doing your matchups, you might be able to get faster your energy and get out of a situation. Or two, you might be able to get back into a situation because your energy recharges a lot faster. So you don't have to feel that I'm stuck on doing one target. I want to fight this target. Just disengage, come back. You might be able to get them a lot quicker because they are still recovering their energy. And that's pretty much it. You know, let me know down in the comments down below. Is Stellaris a target that you guys like? I personally enjoy this target, the striker. This striker is pretty fun. I tend to like this striker. I'm going to be using him a lot more in rank specifically. Now, we will be doing more live streams, so if you guys want to catch us live on YouTube or on Twitch, you can catch us on Twitch with some Twitch drops as well. You can catch us there. But let me know down below, do you like Stellaris? Is Stellaris one of your favorites? Or did you see this video and you say, you know what, Stellaris might not be for me? You know, let me know down in the comments down below. I appreciate each and every one of you guys. There's been a lot of people who have been subscribing to the channel for Mecha BREAK, and the community is amazing, and I plan to keep making more videos for Mecha BREAK. So if you want to see more videos from Mecha BREAK, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, share this video. Maybe there might be other people out there who might want to learn about Stellaris. I have another beginner guide for you guys for Falcon and other people as well, if you guys want to check those videos out as well. Share, like, and comment, all those wonderful things. I appreciate you guys, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace.